Good morning, dear friends. So thanks for joining our Facebook Live, which is really aimed at students, teams which are selected for the grand finale. Today we will talk about do's and don'ts at the grand finale and how you should prepare before the grand finale. So this Facebook is extremely critical for all the participating teams, and if some of you have not joined or some of your friends have not joined, please share this information with your friends and pass on this link so that everybody is on the same page. But before getting into do's and don'ts of Facebook Live, for the grand finale, I would like to share with you some of the some information regarding the evaluation process which we have done, because we are getting a large number of emails and messages from students that how you evaluated, why only these many teams got selected, and so on and so forth. So the methodology this time which we followed for evaluation was a bit different than what we used to follow last year or last couple of years. As this time we had large number of private organizations coming on board, we had already requested them to give evaluators, and we had asked each private organizations to nominate anywhere between 5 evaluators to 15 evaluators based on the number of problem statements which they were giving or which we had included for the grand finale during the actual announcements. So last year we received about 17,000 entries. This time for software itself we received 32,000 entries. We were hoping that we will receive a large number of entries. We were expecting, our internal calculation was that we will receive about 25,000 entries, but we ended up receiving 32,000 entries. So we were prepared in that sense for more entries. And for that, we had actually roped in large number of evaluators. So one set of evaluators came from private organizations who were actually participating. And we also had put in an advertisement well in advance in paper, asking professionals to actually nominate themselves as evaluators. So from that advertisement itself, we got about 600-700 evaluators. We got the applications, we scrutinized them, and we had eventually about 300 evaluators from that advertisement itself. So till last year, when we were evaluating, we were completely relying on about 200-250 evaluators altogether. But this time, our evaluators were more than 1,000. And because of that, we could actually complete the entire evaluation process in about 15 to 20 days. Please remember, we stopped taking any new entries on 23rd of January, and we started announcing results by 10th, 11th of February. So we got about 20 days or so, 15 to 18 days or so and still yesterday we announced few more results because we were waiting for those companies to go ahead and evaluate and share their shortlisted teams. So and that's the reason, if you had seen last year or the first edition, we had put one result in one go. But this time we decided that we will start putting out the result as soon as we get the teams from the respective companies. We collated them, and in 4 or 5 batches, we actually went ahead and displayed the results. Because of that, also what happened, that some teams who had applied for multiple problem statements, out of that, some teams actually got selected also for multiple problem statements. Then we internally had to actually work on which team will work for which problem statement, so that other people get some opportunity. So, but at the end of the day, we cannot compromise on the results also, and the quality of the results also. For example, if one team has got selected for one problem statement and that same team has got selected for other problem statement, we tried putting one team, we tried that for the other problem statement where they are selected, the other team can get opportunity. Only and only if the waitlist team was good enough and we had received what we can say a positive feedback from the evaluators. So you will see when we are announcing results, or when we have announced results, that for majority of the problem statements we have put out 4 entries, but for few problem statements we have put out only 2 or only 3 entries. The reason is the other 2 teams either might have got selected for other problem statements, and we may not have anything good coming from the company saying that, boss, please include this also, or please give consideration to them. For example, one company said that these are the only 3 teams which we feel are good. We don't feel any of the other submissions are good, and that's the reason we are not going to go ahead. We will only request you to select these 3 and not anyone else. So if anything from those 3 got selected for other problem statements, then that problem statement was removed. And you can see there is one problem statement, I think LB8 or so, where we had where all the 4 teams which got selected for that problem statement they also got selected for other problem statements, but none of the other teams for that problem statements were good enough for getting selected, and hence we had to remove that problem statement. So we tried our best to include as many students as possible, because our agenda is to give opportunity to as many students as possible. But at the end of the day, the results are not controlled by us. We have large sets of evaluators. We got, for majority of the entries, we had 2 or more people looking at a single entry to ensure that there is no mistake. And you will see that many good students from good institutions actually got selected for a couple of problem statements. And we had a huge problem because of this duplicacy. But we worked on it. You will not believe, my entire team was working on it over the weekends till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, compiling everything again, starting work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it was extremely tiring period during tiring phase, but we could complete evaluation in the stipulated time frame. This time frame is very critical for us, because as you know, in 2019 we have elections, and we will be and there will be model code of conduct which will get implemented, and we wanted to ensure that the software hackathon we finish this grand finale we finish before this model code of conduct is actually implemented, so that everyone will able to participate. And Prime Minister office was very keen on ensuring that we actually go ahead and do it on 2nd and 3rd of March. So we are also getting large number of requests from students where they are saying that why their entry didn't get shortlisted, or there were large number of entries from their colleges, but none of the entries got shortlisted. So I spoke to about 20 to 25 SPOCs of different companies, or I spoke to about 25 different companies about the quality of entries. And all of them felt that good quality entries were anywhere between 3% to 5% and not more than that. Okay, so they said that 90 to 95% of the entries are very Me Too kind of entries, or some of them are sometimes very irrelevant also. So we were very surprised how Sparks actually went ahead and approved some of these entries. Okay, Spark should not have done that. If the entry is irrelevant, they should not have, or if it is just a copy pasting of the or the problem statements which were given as an entry, Spark should not have done that. But Sparks went ahead and did it just to make their student teams happy. And they actually passed on the entire burden to us. So we got, and that's based on discussion with not 1, 2, or 3 companies, about 25 to 30 different companies. When I spoke to them one-on-one, I personally spoke to them. They felt that large number of entries were not very good quality entries. And as I said before, only 3 to 5% entries were good. And they could select that. And as a result of which you could see that in spite of many entries for any given problem statement, some companies have selected only 2 entries or 3 entries. And where there were really large number of entries, companies could go ahead and select 4 or 5. I think in majority cases about only 4 entries and that was the cutoff which we had given to companies considering our logistic constraints. So that's done. So please do not doubt our evaluation process. We are trying to be as fair as possible. It's not that we are infallible. We make mistakes. We are open to corrections. But please don't get into doubting the entire process, doubting the entire initiative, because you are actually, by doing so, you are harming the entire initiative. Okay, so next time, if you're not got selected, if any of your friends have not got selected, please tell them that they should focus on actually improving their entries. For that, we actually did large number of trainings also. We had done 45 hours of trainings. I don't know how many of you really attended those trainings. And in those trainings, we were actually focusing on design thinking, mind map, critical thinking, how to look at a problem, how to approach a problem, how to design your problem statement, how to conceptualize a product. And if you could have just sincerely, many of you would have done those trainings, your chances would have been of selection would have been high, and we could have also got some really good entries, so that the participating companies would have felt very happy about it. Currently they are feeling that they are investing large amount of efforts into it, but as I said, the quality is pretty poor. So please do not think about we have done injustice to any of you by not selecting any of you, because large number of entries, as I said, were Me Too kind of entries. Now coming to or moving forward towards grand finale, what you have to do, so today or yesterday you might have received yesterday, Papri, so yesterday you might have received an email from my team where you are connected with your company Spark. The person who is part of your for which you have worked. So in next 5-6 days, if possible, we would like to have you interact with company Spark. So please write to the company Spark through email, communicate with them to have a WebEx or a Skype kind of a session or a TCON kind of a session, so that you can ask that Spark your doubts about the problem statements, that if you want some kind of a data or data format or what you are expecting out of it. So those kind of things. So we will request you to communicate. We will not come into picture. We have connected both of you, and now it is completely with both of you to take it forward. Okay. So in next 5, 6, 7 days, we will request you to have that kind of a session, so that you have more clarity about what is expected out of your team when you actually go for grand finale in terms of the product. Okay, so that's one. So do that session. Okay, and eventually after 3rd of March, once the grand finale is done, we will actually share with you some kind of a report or a survey kind of things where we will be asking whether you actually did some of these things which we had requested to you. So have not more than 1 or 2 sessions. All students should or all teams have to be there. We have told Spox not to do any one-on-one session with any team, because this is at the end of the day competition. So the information should be shared with all and not just with 1 or 2 teams. So it has to be a pre-announced kind of a session. So you write to your Spock and request him to schedule a session where all teams selected for any given problem statement should join and actually should interact to clear the doubts. Okay, so this is one thing which you should do. Second, when it comes to grand finale, as we are allowing 2 mentors. That was the format last year or even in 2017. So we have open systems now. The systems are there open for us to collect information for mentors. So we want to have the information for those mentors. You need to fill that information regarding who are going to be the 2 mentors who are going to travel around you, along with you. Please understand, this is very, very critical for us, because we don't know large number of students who are traveling personally. The college or the nodal center where you will be traveling, they also don't know which students are coming, which students are not coming. And considering the security and safety of all the participants participating in this grand finale, we need to be extremely critical who is going at which place, and we have to monitor that. So your inputs in this regard will help us so that once you reach nodal center, the colleges can match the data which we are going to provide them, so that they are sure or they can ensure that no wrong people actually get into the campus and create some kind of a havoc. So that is extremely critical. So I certainly hope you would have identified mentors. Ideally, we are saying 2 mentors should be there. 1 mentor can be from academia, 1 mentor can be from industry. Ideally, we recommend that at least one mentor should be from industry. So try identifying mentor from industry and share with us the details, so that once we get these details, we will share all these details along with team leaders, team members, and mentors to the nodal institution, so that during your registration, they will go ahead and verify those details. So this is very, very critical. The third thing is that all students are requested to get a letter from college stating names of students which are going to participate, along with the names of mentor on a very authorized letterhead with sign and signature of principal. If you don't have that letter, we will not allow you to compete. So you have to get that letter so that the nodal centers can go ahead and verify that. And you have to have your identity card, okay, your college identity card, so that it's easy for people to validate. All teams are expected to reach their respective venues on 1st, ideally at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so that registration processes can be completed itself on 1st, and then you can do your basic setup, so that next day after inauguration you are good to go, or good to start for the hackathon. So you need to ensure that you reach nodal center ideally at 3 or 4 o'clock in the evening. If there is a problem with trains, or if you have to reach a day early, that is on 28th of February, then please talk to respective institutions and make arrangements accordingly. We are requesting institutions that some students might come a day early because trains are always not daily. So they may have that kind of a problem. But in that case, college may provide, I am saying may, we are not using the word must. College may provide you accommodation, but they will not able to provide you food and other things. So you have to take care of that day by yourself. Okay, so you have to pay for your food, or you have to go out and that kind of thing. The college may provide accommodation, and we are requesting college, and colleges are also trying to be as accommodative as possible, so that they will go ahead and try to give you accommodation. But avoid going one day early. Then you are expected to leave the institution on 4th of March. You are requested to leave institutions on 4th of March by first half, by 12 or 2 o'clock or so, and the college is expected to give you brunch. Okay. But after that, college may not able to give you accommodation on 4th evening. You might have to, so if you are going there, we will actually recommend you to stay for another day, see the place around, travel, but you will have to make your own arrangements for stay as well as for food. College may not able to give you that. Please don't insist on it. Okay. Another very important thing is that for last 2 years, we have observed that along with some kids or students, their parents also go and travel. So, and then they start asking for accommodation and things like that. Please understand, students, we will not able to give any accommodation to parents or anyone apart from the 8 people, the 6 students plus 2 mentors who are traveling. They have to take care of themselves. They should not pressurize the college to give it, because college is also not in a position to accommodate them. So if any of the other members are traveling with you, they have to take care of themselves. Please don't write to us. Please don't pressurize the institutions. Friends, please understand this, that this is really a huge initiative. We will, during the grand finale, we will have about 10,000 students traveling to different part of this country. Okay. And we are trying to take care of their logistics centrally by talking to large number of institutions and helping and creating this a culture where you will go and you will see different part of the country, you will compete there, you will enjoy the process and go back. Okay, we want to make your experience memorable, but at the end of the day, we also have large number of financial constraints. So the accommodation which the college is going to provide you is more of a hostel kind of an accommodation. Don't expect very lavish kind of arrangements which will be made for you, because at the end of the day, the objective of this entire initiative is to compete and develop good products and not enjoy. Okay, and you certainly you will enjoy during the competition, but enjoyment is a secondary aspect. So the colleges, based on their availability, based on their what they have, they will try to do their best, but don't expect any lavish kind of arrangements. It will be more. In some colleges, there could be a dormitory kind of a facility. In some colleges, they will accommodate you with other students. Because suddenly, if we tell any college to accommodate 200 or 250 students, is not going to be easy. Okay, so please understand that. So we are in touch with them. They also know that students from different part of the country are going to come. So they also want to make your experience memorable. But at the end of the day, we have limited infrastructure and we have limited financial capabilities. So don't expect beyond a point. Okay, so it's very, very critical. Apart from that, during actually grand finale, you are expected to work for 36 hours non-stop. So at least 2 members from your team have to be any two members, have to be present on the desk continuously. So even at night, if you are going for having a power nap or a small amount of rest, you need to ensure that there are at least two students or team members who are working or who are on the desk and actually working. So it should not happen that all six or all people, 8 people are not there. We will disqualify the team. Apart from that, if we find students roaming around here and there, actually not working, then we will disqualify that team. So we are going to send one person from MHRD headquarters who will be a very neutral person, who will be looking at all the teams, what they are doing, how they are behaving, whether they are actually working or not. And he will actually share his observations with the evaluator. And if he finds that some of you are not behaving properly, without any explanation, we will disqualify you, and you have to leave the campus at that moment. There will be no further discussions on that regard. Okay, so we are going to be extremely strict about it. Another thing which you need to be very, very critical about is, because you will be there in campus for 36 hours working, and as this government emphasizes on Swachh Bharat in big way, you need to ensure that you don't mess up with the campus there. Okay, you are guests there at the college of other college, so you have to behave like a very what we can say dignified people, and you don't mess around there. You don't create problems there. Okay, so you have to clean. You have to ensure that your desks are clean. Don't throw away things here and there. So as part of this Swachh Bharat initiative, we need to ensure that you don't mess around with the campus. This is extremely critical. Apart from that, there will be large number of girls who will be traveling around with you, and any problem or any misbehavior with any of the female participants or girls by any of you will result in immediate disqualification, and we will not entertain any such thing. So you need to focus on your team, your project, your development of your product, and you need to ensure that you don't get into any wrong side of the evaluators or our observers by any chance. Okay, so these are going to be extremely critical things. Apart from that, I have received large number of questions, so I will take some questions. So the first question is, can students be from different institutes? Which is this question? Why this question is there? Different institutes means what? Now your teams are there, your teams are finalized, and you cannot have any students from any different institutions. We are allowing changes up to 3 members per team, but please remember, change in team leader is not allowed. Okay, you are allowed to change up to 3 members, but that has to reflect in your letter which you get along from your principal or director. Okay, how can we get data sets for our development? Yes, so as I said, if you want data sets for your projects, either you create your own synthetic data, or during your interaction with Spock, which we want you to do in next 5-6 days, you ask him for data, or for data format at least, so that you can create your own synthetic data. Then the next question is, which will be when will be the hardware edition results we announce? So we are still just in the initial phase of hardware assessment, because now we will not able to do a hardware edition before the elections. So we will announce those results by mid-March, and the actual hardware will be in somewhere in last week of June. So that's where we are planning hardware edition. So we will keep you updated once we are ready with the results. We will announce them. Is it mandatory for all of my? Is it mandatory for all of my team? Okay, so I think as I said, your team leader is mandatory. You have to get letter, and we are allowing 3 members changes up to 3 members. So you can do, and you can. Any specific banner size to be carried out? All these instructions are given. I think we have put a repository for you all on our website. We are trying to be as systematic as possible. We are not the best, but we are genuinely and sincerely trying. So repository for students regarding banners, standees, formats, and all those things are already there on the website. We request you to go ahead and download those formats. We also request you not to change or not to fiddle with the format which is there, because for us uniformity is also very critical. Then you need to ensure you don't remove logos of any of the organizers or sponsors which are there, because it is our binding with them. So don't change much and use the formats which we have given you. Okay. Having mentors are compulsory. Can we mentors from different institutions? Yes, mentors can be from any institutions. We don't care. It can be from your academic institution. It can be from industry. Mentors are mentors. They can be maybe your elder brother or so. Or we don't care. Who is your mentor? The mentor has to be technically capable, because at the end of the day, he's part of your team. And everyone should accept to have him as a mentor also. So within your team. So select mentor appropriately, which will help your team to win. If you don't have mentors, let us know. Ideally, we want people to have mentors. Okay. In case 25 tickets are not available, will we get reimbursement for other classes too? This is a very, very important question. And the answer is no. So we will be reimbursing only for sleeper class, that is second class, not AC, by train or by bus. If you are using Volvo and things like that, we will reimburse for that. Okay. If you are booking in Tatkal, we will also reimburse Tatkal charges. If you are using flight, or if you are using AC train, then we will only reimburse equivalent to sleeper class. That is very, very clear. So don't argue with the people there. Please understand, my dear friends, we are going to reimburse tickets for 10,000 students. We are not taking any registration fees, any examination fees, anything from you. Okay, we are all spending it from our pocket. Our just travel bills are going to be anywhere between 3 to 3.5 crores. So don't expect beyond a point. We want to help you, we want to support you, but we can do up to a certain extent. So we will be giving only sleeper class fare with the shortest possible distance. Okay, so this is very, very critical. Don't ask same questions again and again. Okay, and I think we have already declared that in our on our website, and do's and don'ts which we have already circulated. So another thing which is very, very critical for students, and you should tell your friends also, that whenever we send something, you are expected to read. Okay, because large number of students just don't read and come to us with same sets of questions again and again. So it is very, very critical. Then the next set of question is, in what way would we provide prototype of software? Can we bring our prototype, or should we do it there? So because we have already announced the winners, and so you can start working on your prototype. It's not that you have to start everything from scratch at the nodal center. People can start working, because we believe that there is nothing called as a foolproof software or a best or a complete developed software. Even after so many years of working even on Windows, they still have updates and those kind of things. So there is nothing called as a perfect software. So you can start working on it, and people will judge you. And we have parameters how to judge, and we will share with you even if you have something semi-developed. So don't worry about it. You can start working on it. Then the next question: can you please tell us the judging parameters for the grand finale? Yes, we will share with you judging parameters for the grand finale soon. It will be a very transparent process. Large number of company people who have actually looked at some of the entries, they will be, or some of the members will be joining there as evaluators. They will be also be part of the evaluation team, and we will share with you soon the judging criterias during the grand finale. But that's not what you need to know tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We will share with you in next 4-5 days. But you will know them before you actually start working on your product. Then the next question is: can we join as a team without a girl member? Yes, you can join because we are getting large number of. Ideally, we want girl member to be there, but if due to some constraints, if she's not able to travel, you can always replace that girl member with other member. So you can join. Who is the Spock for student innovation in nodal centers? Is nodal center enough? Do we get guidance from someone? For student innovation, you are the boss. We don't have anyone who will guide student innovation in that sense, and that's the reason we were actually discouraging students to put into student innovation category, because we don't have, every student might have put something very, very different, and we may not able to provide guidance or mentors for student innovation category. So, and that is the reason we said that please try and apply to the problem statements which were floated by the company rather than student innovation. Apart from that, for student innovation per center, there are only 3 prizes. Okay, so first prize is 1 lakh rupees, second prize is 75,000 rupees, and third prize is 50,000 rupees, similar to last year. I think we have 4 centers, 4 nodal centers for student innovation. So we will have about 12 prizes for 100 teams which will be participating there. But for all other problem statements which are there, which are given by companies or by AICT or ministry, for every problem statement, there is a prize. So it was also much, if you would have tried for problem statements for companies, it would have been also more lucrative, or the opportunity to win prizes would have been high in that sense. But yes, for student innovation category, we don't have anyone who can guide each and every team. Then another question is, Google Doc is open for changing team members, also up to 3 members. Mail has gone to, okay, so this is from my team, which says that we have already circulated things to you. Are sensors available at nodal center, or do we have to bring them? This is another very good question which is there. Yes, you get your own sensor, you get your own hardware. If you have, if you're using an Arduino board or a Intel board or a Raspberry Pi board, you can get it and you can use it and take it back while going. We will not able to provide you any kind of hardware there. So if you are working on some IoT based systems or those kind of things or sensors, if you are using, you have to get your own sensors as well as boards, because we will not able to give you. But thing is that you can take it back along with you when you go back. Okay, we will not keep them also with us. The final question is regarding t-shirts. I will talk about it separately. Anything else we have? Okay, so there are 2 things which I really want to talk about. One is this t-shirt thing, where we have given you the format So please follow the format. We request every team to have its t-shirts. Design your own t-shirts without deviating from the format. You can choose whatever color you want, neck, without neck, anything, you can do it. So that's up to you. The reason we are insisting on t-shirts is because institutes which are hosting this, they don't know you. Okay, so it's easy for them to actually differentiate between who is their local student or who is non-student as compared to who is part of the this hackathon competition. So once they see the t-shirt, they see the logo, they know that these are the students who are participating. And it's easy for them and as easy for us also to identify. So that's the reason we are suggesting that each team should have its own t-shirt with a logo, and that's the reason we have given the specifications on how you should design your t-shirt. So I will request you, although it is not compulsory in a sense, but we strongly recommend that you should go ahead and do it. Okay. And the final part, which is very, very critical for us, is social media, your support for social media. You know, moving forward, we would like you to actually go ahead and post videos, photographs of you people working together, you traveling, you actually developing some video messages will be great, and tag us along with the hashtag Smart India Hackathon 2019. Okay, you can use you can tag us on Twitter, you can tag us on Facebook, but we want to ensure that there is large amount of buzz on social media which gets created, so that next year more and more students are excited to join. People around us know that such an initiative is happening, and it actually gives a lot of legitimacy also to our entire initiative. I think India is the only country which actually does hackathon at a national level, which is done by government. You know, there is no other country, to best of my knowledge, which does it. Some people do it at a city level or maybe at state level also. But as a country and as big as India, there is no hackathon which is happening. So this is a very, very unique initiative, and we want to ensure that globally also we create huge amount of impact, and that is not possible without your support. You know, we want to ensure that all the developed countries should know that a country like India is actually putting such novel initiatives in place to interact with students, to harvest their creativity, to engage them and to harvest their ideas, to use their energy for nation building, which even some of the most developed countries are not doing. So this is part of the open innovation model which we are in, and we believe India is the best country to build world's biggest open innovation model. I don't know how many of you have realized this, but first, just in Smart India Hackathon platform, you can see that we have thousands of colleges coming together, lakhs of students coming together, hundreds of industries and very, very big brands are coming together, large number of professionals who are coming together as evaluators, as mentors, as guides. And we are doing this hackathon simultaneously this year at 48 different locations in this country. You know, so on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of March, we will have more than 10,000 students actually competing non-stop for 36 hours across 48 different cities in this country. You know, it's a big initiative, it's a big thing. And as Indians, we all should be proud of it. And we should tell the world that such kind of initiatives are happening in India. So, and you are privileged because some of you have got selected. Selection itself is very a good opportunity. Whether you win prizes or you don't win prizes, it's just a chance event. but selection coming up to this process of crossing 2 or 3 levels of barrier and coming here, competing, enjoying the entire process is extremely very critical. So your support is very important for us. So we will request you to go ahead and start aggressively monitoring your team. Don't what we can say, promote us as such, but promote your own team, okay, on social media, and just tag us so that we can tweet or retweet. Ask your friends also and other social media coordinators in your institute to also go ahead and bump up your chances and actually help us propagate this entire idea. I think we have one more question. Is it mandatory to have mentors with 4 years of experience? We would say 4-6 years of experience is very, very critical for a mentor if he is working in a good industry or an academia, because they are mature enough to actually guide you on what should be the software architecture, which tools you should use. So that experience sometimes really helps you on designing things in a far efficient way than someone really raw like 1 or 2 years experience, because they are still in a learning phase. So try to get a person as a mentor who is really capable of being a mentor. Okay, so don't try to get someone who is really not capable and who is just your friend and wants to travel with you, and yes, but sometimes you may have people who have participated in hackathon with only a couple of years of experience, or some extraordinary people will be certainly there, but every team may not be capable of getting such an extraordinary person. So these are the recommendations which we have given. At the end of the day, whom you select your mentor, or who is your mentor, it's up to you, and you can select. We don't care about that, because the mentor's job is to help you win. If he is not doing that job, you are at loss. Okay, so I think we have covered most of the points. I've spoken a lot, and I hope I have answered majority of your questions. If you have any more, please write it. Please write to us. But before writing, before shooting any question, just ensure that you have seen this video. Unless and until you have seen this video, you will continue to ask same questions again and again. Okay. So before leaving, what I will request you to note down our handles. My personal handle is Dr. Abhay Jere. So I am only on Twitter. I'm not on Facebook, active on Facebook. I am active on Twitter. So you can follow me on Twitter. Apart from that, for MHRD Innovation Cell, which is actually handling this entire initiative, our Facebook page is MHRD Innovation. Okay, so my Twitter handle is Abhay Jere. Our Facebook page is MHRD Innovation. Our YouTube channel is MHRD Innovation Cell. Okay, so Facebook page is MHRD Innovation. YouTube channel is MHRD Innovation Cell. And our MHRD Cell's Twitter handle is MHRD_innovation. So our MHRD Innovation Cell's Twitter handle is MHRD_innovation. So I will request you to follow us in large number so that it's easy for us to communicate. Also, you need to ensure that you have downloaded SIH app, so that it's easy for us again to communicate, because just by sending notifications, we reach out to large number of people. Otherwise, we have to send emails and SMSs. SMSs is an expensive affair for us. Emails, sometimes, if we send bulk emails, they may end up in your bulk mail folder or junk folder. So it's better that you follow us on social media and also download the SIH app, which is available on Google Play. Okay, so thank you very much. I wish you great luck for the grand finale, and I hope I will able to get opportunity to meet some of you during the grand finale, because I will be traveling to about 3 or 4 nodal centers on 2nd and 3rd of March. So thank you once again.